We're here with Mr. Lampley, boxing analyst, boxing expert, and boxing legend. Mr. Lampley, assess Oscar De La Hoya's performance today.
Brilliant, amazing, stupendous. Midway through the first round, I asked, where is the ring rust? Because you don't expect to see a guy come back after 20 months off amid circumstances which prompt people to question his motivation and whether he really sees himself as a fighter anymore, and come in and produce a performance like that. He was amazingly sharp, quick, brilliant, probably defended better than I've ever seen him defend before, picking off punches with his gloves, and of course that left hook came out of the cradle. Nobody's ever going to be able to take it away from him.
Oscar De La Hoya's best punch has always been the left hook, and today he proved it again. Were you surprised that Mayorga got up after being down twice?
No, I mean, Oscar De La Hoya is not a huge puncher, and this is only the second time that he's put a strong fighter on his back at the weight of 154 pounds. The first was Vargas, and in both instances he's using the other guy's aggression against him and setting up perfect counter shots. Over the years, Oscar has gotten much better at using his right hand to set up that left hook, and of course the combination that started things off in the first round was a left hook to the body followed by a perfect right cross and a perfect left hook. And I think from that point forward, the technical difference between the two fighters was so abundantly clear. I mean, it couldn't have been lost on Mayorga that every time Oscar stepped up inside and fired short, straight punches, he landed them. So, I thought that Mayorga had begun to look discouraged by the sixth round, and Oscar did a good job of increasing the discouragement.
After Oscar De La Hoya knocked out Fernando Vargas, you said, this is the sweetest, greatest victory Oscar De La Hoya has ever had. Do you think this one topped it?
Yeah, I think this is a more satisfying victory. Absolutely. I think that was a tremendously satisfying victory for him. But, this was more unusual circumstances. You didn't have his wife coming to him then and saying, I want you to knock this guy out because he's insulted me. That's what was part of the picture this time around. So I think when you put that together with all of the questions that surrounded Oscar, back in the day when he fought Vargas, he was still seen as a serious top-level prize fighter. Before tonight, there are quite a number of people in this room who didn't see him that way. They have to eat their words now.
What do you think about a fight against Oscar De La Hoya and Floyd Mayweather Jr.? Do you think it's going to happen? And if it does, what do you think the outcome would be?
Well, there are 30, 40, 50 million reasons why it should happen. And I know that Floyd is extremely enthusiastic about it. He's over there lobbying for the fight right now. Jumped out of his seat. Most excited man in the arena when Oscar knocked Mayorga down in the first. But, it's a fight that most people would have seen as a wipeout in favor of Mayweather before tonight. The tremendous difference after tonight is that there are going to be quite a number of us in the boxing media corps who will see Oscar as having a serious chance to win the fight. Floyd's great. He's unbelievably great. But when you keep going up in weight, eventually you find somebody who's got a style to beat you, and maybe De La Hoya has that. I think the fight could take place. I know that there are a lot of people in positions of influence in the sport who want to see it take place. One big hang-up is that De La Hoya's trainer, Floyd Mayweather Sr., says that he wants no part of it, and he doesn't believe it can happen, and he hopes that it never happes. So Oscar will have to talk to him.
Now, what flaws have you seen in Floyd as he's gone up in weight? I mean, you have said before that he when you have said before that he slowed down, that he's heavier, that he's not as sharp as he used to be. I mean, do you really believe that, or
No, I don't. I mean, if I've said it, I was speaking prematurely. I think his performance in the Judah fight shows you, his chin is in no trouble at 147. His offensive game is in no trouble at 147. He's still fast. He's still the most skilled fighter in the sport. So, I don't see Floyd Mayweather having reached the weight level where he's not going to be the same fighter. I'm just saying it's true of everybody. You keep moving up in weight. I mean, it happened to Sugar Ray Robinson, too. Eventually you're going to find guys at the bigger weight who are more naturally accustomed to that weight and have the style to beat you. Does Oscar De La Hoya have the style to beat Floyd Mayweather Jr.? I don't yet see that, but he's got a great left hook, and it's not out of the question.
Well, you seem very enthusiastic about that fight. You really want it to happen, don't you?
You know what? I think that there are a lot of people Oscar could fight. He could fight Ricky Hatton. Maybe he can lure Felix Trinidad out of retirement. It's great for the sport when Oscar fights because he motivates more interest than any other fighter, and we need people to be interested in boxing. No, do I have a rooting interest in whether it takes place? I don't care. This is up to the fighters. We're going to see great fights, whether it's De La Hoya Mayweather or De La Hoya somebody else or Mayweather somebody else. The bottom line is that there's one more great fighter left in the sport than a lot of people thought was the case before tonight, and that helps us.
Now, De La Hoya doesn't have to fight anymore. He has a lot of money. Do you think he should stick in the sport until he starts fading? He didn't show any signs of fading today. What's your opinion on Oscar?
Based on what we saw tonight.
One last question. Who, in your opinion, is the best pound-for-pound fighter out there?
Floyd Mayweather Jr.
Thank you very much. The expert. Thank you very much.